What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. Guys, we did have some technical issues Friday, so we ended up not live streaming, just a heads up. But today we are back in business. Remember, if you're tuning in on YouTube, to hit that thumbs up. Remember our disclaimer, which is that day trading is risky business. Day trading is risky as GSIT is moving up here. GSIT. It might be stalling out here though. It looks like it's stalling out a little bit. Can we see a new high? Might be time to go short. You know, going short here, stop high of day. It's the type of trade I would take because it's like struggling here to push some more. What is it going to be? 715 was the high? Or 718, I think. 718. The VWAP is at 660. 660. Anyhow, so let me write up the watch list here. Hopefully this one holds up into the open. I mean, we only have 9 minutes, so could end up being pretty good. It's in a good price range. Oh, come on. I should have took my 20 cents. It looked good to open up over 8, but a little bit of selling there. These dips, I want to be very careful with these type of dips. Oftentimes they just Christmas tree, so low so far 24. Our previous resistance was about 20 if we want to say 718, 720, so far so good. I like that it's holding up. It looks like it'll be active into the open, which is really good. If it comes back down, I'm definitely interested in the starter there. $91 for highs. I gotta check the daily chart as well. Daily chart, room to 980 or so. All-time highs are 1020. By the way, this is actually going to be the only stock on my watch list. I'm gonna start up the screen recording here. I'm gonna go to single screen now, so I don't forget. And this is the only one I'm interested in. So we got a new high, but it's back down again. We had 720s or so last time. VWAP this time at 28. I'm definitely interested in the starter. The 5-minute chart is healthy. We're holding up towards the open. Maybe we get a repeat of Monday of last week here. Share size is set. If this one happens to be strong and is giving opportunities, gotta pedal to the metal right away into the open if it remains on the uptrend. Maybe a higher low here. 3 minutes to the open, 3 minutes 30 seconds. GSIT. I'm gonna throw out a starter just to see what it does. Small size. If we linger and it shows some good signs, or even the 1 minute candle to make the new high, keep an eye. $8.20 is the highs. Can we hold up? So far back down 65. Stupid thing, man. Okay. All right. Open. 2 minutes. VWAP is at 42. So far, we're still holding the VWAP. We do have a bit of a double top here, although on the larger time frame, we're still looking pretty healthy. Guys, if you're tuning in on YouTube, hit the thumbs up before the opening bell here. Hit the thumbs up. GSIT, the only stock on my watch list here. It is time to rock and roll. Will we hold up the VWAP into the open though? I got smaller size here, just a couple hundred shares to start, but if it's really good right away and we're connecting, we're going to look to increase size as we go. I'm going to throw out another starter at 50, small size, just to see what it does. We're coming into the open here. Oh, it's halting up. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Jeez, that could have held. Well, it's level 2 on Guardian, I tell you. Well, it's halted up. The opening surge trade is going to work for the first time in 10,000 years right there. So in at 50 and out at 17, although my size is only a couple hundred shares there. But still a good trade. We'll take the 200 bucks to start. What Ross calls it the gap and go. The gap and go trade we haven't seen in 10,000 years. Non-existent these days. The break of the pre-market highs is what everybody calls it, right? The break of the pre-market highs. There's room to 980. So we mentioned, hey, if this thing looks like it's strong right away, we want to be a little bit more aggressive early. It's the only stock we've seen since last Monday that's held up coming into the open and strong right away, and it's halted up over the pre-market highs. Now, because I don't want to strike myself out and just max loss if it happens to be a terrible trade coming up, I'm not going to go to full size, but I do want to use some size. So instead of like 3, 4K, I'm going to go, I think at least 1,500, 1,400 should be good. There's going to still be risk, maybe a little less than that, maybe a little less than that. Maybe I go 1,200 and just try to build a day and not be too overly aggressive on just one trade, despite the setup does look good. So I think that's where I'm going to settle 1,200 shares, small size for the most part. But if we connect and it looks even better, that's where we got to go to dial it in. Got to manage risk here. You know, it's 8. Now thinking about it too, we did go from 6 to 8, so the price is a little bit more expensive, which means it's going to be a little bit more risk. How much am I willing to lose to the extremes? At worst case, we don't want to lose more than 400 in a trade, which would be about 30 cents. And then looking to make that and or more, of course, if we can connect properly on the dip. So I think this size is fair, and then, you know, once we connect, we can look to size up. If we don't connect, we size down. and just continue to be patient. Okay, all right. In the next minute, 40 seconds, no fear, no hesitation. I would love for this to be, a repeat of like last Monday. I mean, I wouldn't mind. That day I didn't live stream because I was trading from somewhere else and I had some technical issues. Like for the first 40 minutes of the day, which is devastating on a day like that. Today, however, we're ready to go. Don't forget if you're watching on YouTube to hit the thumbs up. We got 55 seconds for TSIT resumption. It's showing sideways. All right, here we go at 8:25. Can we see that dip? It held again. I'm out a little early that second time. Looks like a higher fill as well. New lows there around 810. Gonna give it a sec here. The halt down 67 just in case it's a little weak. I'm gonna take the long and watch for the red to green here. Tight stop. Stop at 95 or so. And watching to see if we do get to 830 again. Alright, it's coming down. Okay. Fair trades. So it's a little weaker. I think it's a good time to just, size back down. We didn't get any continuation really. Small pop. Not a retested high is not what we want to see here. So this one is a bust. For now, at least. Right now we got a bearish engulfing, so giving it some time. It's bouncing a little bit here off some of the levels lower. We'll need to pull off a miraculous red to green here. Right now we're seeing a bear flag. And there's a new low. Well, so much for it looking strong to start. And these are the stocks you wish we could see some nice follow through, but right to the depths. How are the others doing? AZTR. I had a nice push going up, but right back down. NUAI. REPL. Taking a look at some others. GSIT, it needs to, if we can get back over the whole dollar, you know, maybe we can start to see something, but it almost halted down twice. I definitely could have been in a little faster though for one of my dips in above $8, I think. You know, that's from about 8.10 to 8.35. So right here, you know, if it pushes through, can we see something? 8.50. The halt is at 88. That rotation there is going to cost me some money. Very good. It'll be nice if it resumes above this previous high. So break of 780. Pretty good. Three minutes through 3 minutes 20 seconds to resumption. So from halting or false halting down twice. We had a nice red to green in there. One minute 50 seconds. It's only showing slightly higher. I'd hope we can push up first. It's still not out of the woods, I don't think, just in case you kind of see this like double top. Less than 10 seconds. It's right into the resistance. False halt. 55 the level. Oh wow, their shares. Their shares are short, by the way, which is interesting. The halt level moved up, 76. This is our second halt up here. Holy smokes. Seeing some decent trades here in the chat. So far, it looks like just this one, nothing else. Sympathy momentum, not really a thing anymore. There's 2 minutes. Showing a higher resumption now. A little higher. $15 seconds. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was like insane to get that dip. Well, I think that might be the end of all the safe trades, and that one was pretty risky with the range and the spread. Is that the fourth one or third one? Third one here in a row. The breakouts have been surprisingly good as well, as in like the new highs. The biggest thing to watch out for is, of course, the backside. The moment the backside comes, that'll be it. What's the percentage? 164%. And the past store is flat. I think all the, I mean, because of the price point, all the cleaner trades are behind us. There's probably going to be more trades, but higher risk, of course. Definitely the place to reduce size and be careful of backside. Halts down and just bigger drops. Just a little disappointing, of course, in the initial red to green. I'm kind of looking at some other stocks to see if anything else is moving up and missed the break of 80. And then the first dip and rip, not as clean. We did end up getting the follow through eventually into the new candle. So high of day breakouts on this one has been really good. Like, buying the 1 minute candle to make the new high. And there's a spread, there's a range, and so once it comes to those levels, you got to be in. If not, you can already see a 40-cent uptick. Resumption, 55 seconds. And this one has interestingly been opening up only 10 cents higher compared to other stocks that'll sometimes have that significant jump in price and maybe have a 10-minute halt. The resumptions have been a couple cents apart. Twenty seconds. Right, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That one was pretty clean. And of course, I'm not in. That was a good one right there. 13, 1380 to 13, back to 1380, and then a new high. All right, this is probably where it halts down instantly. How far will it go? Is this our high of day or will we see some more? For me, I didn't really get to capitalize, so I'm not looking to increase any risk here. I think as we get more expensive in price, we're going to see more and more risk. Although the last dip and rip was still pretty clean, though, surprisingly. One of the cleaner ones. But typically, you got to be careful of the spreads and the potential halt down. Will we see a high of 15, 20, maybe 22? Or is this the end of the line? No one knows. You just have to manage risk as you go. A minute 50 seconds. The resumption is showing sideways and about a minute to go. I think the Mighty is not trading today. I don't see him in the chat room. We got 15 seconds at 1480, showing sideways. Oh, this thing is mad. It's reminding me of the one from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Holy smokes. But it didn't quite halt up. It's at 67. It might see some selling here. 1364 to halt down. Well, all right. Looks like 20 bucks might be the next stop here. Resumption is showing slightly lower this time, but it's pretty early. Might be sideways. Showing sideways now. What can I say? Well, in hindsight, I definitely should have been more aggressive to just buy everything, right? Here I am, flat on a sweet 200% move. Not good. A lot of excitement early around 29, like 9:29 into the open, and then after seeing the halt down, well, false halt down, checking out some other stocks, missing the first red to green, fumbling the first dip and rip. Not getting a good rhythm on the way up, and then right now, like right here, right now, I'm not trading it because if I've already been green, I wouldn't be trading it. So I don't want to like break that rule to like like areas like this is to be sizing down. Really, if you're risking maybe like 10%, 5% of the day, just to see if maybe you can connect on something, but the risk is just too high to be like super aggressive here. Between what did we have, $7? Between 7 and like 12 is the area to really capture the move, and then here's like the extra cherry on top if you can get anything. Like that 13 resumption ended up being really good. This one right here, you could have gotten chopped if you're in the dip a little early there, but it ended up going up to 17. That's why I'm not really pushing on any shares. Like it just you know you want to already be green and then just taking it easy here. So since I'm flat, I'm taking it easy and not looking to fall on my face in this higher risk area. But I definitely needed to be more aggressive towards the new high, the 1 minute candle making the new high. It would come up and then at 30, 40 cents open up. Yeah, we have also seen a few stocks that had, once they broke over the all-time highs as of late, like the last 2 months, they've given more of a move. 920 and 1020, or 980 and 1020, those levels. So again, the 1 minute candle to make the new high even in those areas ended up working out pretty well. 1030 to 1076 for the halt up again. This is definitely reminiscent of last year momentum. 20 seconds for the resumption. So we had last Monday, and now today, Monday again, seeing some crazy momentum. 10 seconds. It's showing lower though. 10 seconds. Might be a 10-minute halt. Let's see. Yeah. One of the dip and rips I took perfectly and got some terrible fills too. Took a 10-cent loss trying to. Sometimes you'll get some mad fills. GSIT to the moon. Zay had a nice trade in there. 15 to 17. Madness. Sways 750 to 801. Took 50 cents and it kept going. My last decent trade was 997 to 10 15 of just like 17 cents down there. I think hmm. The short that I took, I lost 10 cents on. And that was at 10:32, 10:46. The halt was 55, so it's definitely a risky trade. But when it didn't halt up right away, I'm thinking we might recheck this 10:20, area. These are the stocks though that you want to be on the right side of the momentum, and have a fat green day to hold you down for the entire week or maybe month, depending on if you captured it really nicely. Last year, we definitely got spoiled because we saw a stock like this like 3, 4 times a week. It's insane. Now it's more spread out, and you gotta flip that switch. We got 2 minutes 30 seconds. Two minutes 16 seconds. It's showing lower, so this could be the backside. On a stock that is this aggressive going up, it's rare that we'll see a bigger pullback do a red to green. It'll happen from time to time, but it's usually not the case. Typically, once we start to see red candles, that's it. You got to watch out for the move down. Good old day trading. You got to make sure to keep your cool because you can you can definitely go mad. Right now, I'm just breathing in and out, breathing in and out, deep breaths. Because if I look at the move and not being massively green, it just if you don't want to think about it too much, you'll go crazy. If you didn't capitalize nicely. So just taking it easy. Resumption showing 1485, a little lower. Hopefully, it doesn't inch the halt down for people who might still be holding on the way up. Sometimes they do inch the halt down. There's 22 seconds now showing $15 resumption. 10 seconds. If it halts up again, it is really strong. Like, it is insanely strong, but chances are is that it goes down with the slower resumption here. 1398 is that halt down. Should I be throwing out some short trades? Perhaps. But we have nothing to risk it, being that we're flat. Well, watch for is a double top if it comes up. Topping wick rejection. 1376 to halt down. I don't know if their share's still available, but 15 minutes ago there was. There's the halt down. This is more than likely backside. More than likely is just gonna Christmas tree its way down to maybe $10. It is so strange to see nothing else move, though. You know, typically last year you see something in the same sector, or even like another stock that's just holding up start to gain a good move. But ANRO, not really much there. This one seems like more of like a slower grinder. I mean, it's given well, it did open up a little bit, 7 something to 11. I'm glad I got this recording though. Last Monday I didn't get the recording. OBS was Friday. The train has left the station, brother. The train has left the station. I don't think anything else looks good either, so sidelines unless something else moves up, that's really good. Between like between like $7 and $12 is where I think the money was to be made. And then at that point, as the stock gets more expensive, typically I'd want to be reducing size, like, and maybe risking something small just to see what's if there might be something there. But once we start to get into the teens is where I usually would lose. So as we get more expensive and the range is wider, it's where I usually want to size down a bit. But also safe to say, we definitely weren't aggressive enough, and then honestly, expectation too that I just didn't expect the stock to keep going at all. Once we got to like teens, early teens, typically you start to see those bigger red candles. For now, this is all backside. There's always opportunity in the backside, but the trend is going to be down, unless this thing rips over 16 here for a halt up. 1560, 1556, 1571. The halt down's at 1286. If it halts up again, that'll be a really good look. That'll be at 1571. The halt is still 1570. We're getting lower highs on the breakout side of things. Surprisingly, it's held up 13. We didn't quite, sell off all the way. So, being that our candles on the 5 are closing green, maybe it does something, but, we'll have to keep holding up. We held up 13 again for the third time there, fourth time. But these lower highs just, well, we get a candlestick to push through this level here. If anything, it might be a softer backside. But usually if we hold, fairly high like this, there's a chance. Because most times we're just like Christmas treeing all the way down. So it's trying again here. It's the fifth time going to hold. How far is it going to go? Some sellers there, not quite all the way to 14. Although that's a good, that's a good red to green below the level there. The bounce here is a little weaker. Good initial push, but there's some selling. Is this the end of the line for this consolidation here? Mm. It might try again. Pastor, bro, I am washed. I should have been in on that one. Pastor. And we might resume in 5 minutes because the resumption price looks sideways. So we got a bit of a reset there from the consolidation. Is this the beginning of another uptrend, or are we going to reject in the range here? We'll have to clear, 16 and 17 to really be threatening for high of day. And being that we had consolidation, got to assume that some people got short. And so we could end up seeing, I wouldn't say a repeat of the first move, but maybe like $20, 22 if we're lucky. Ah, man. Days like today is like 30K day, bro. This is madness. This is absolute and utter. This is a joke. See, this is how I'll start talking if I start thinking about it too much. Let me stop. Let me calm down here. Oh, man. Sweet trading. Sweet trading. We got a minute and 3 seconds to resumption. It's showing slightly higher. But again, through 16, 17 is where we need to clear ourselves out of the woods. And then I think anything closer to like 1660s is where we should have a really high chance of making a new high. $30. Will we see dip and rip in here? Also, I'm going to keep in mind too that the high of day candles have been working. Like the breakout candles are making new highs, even if we're a little extended. So try a couple of trades in those higher areas as well. 15.15. Let's see what it does. We need to crack through 16. Okay. No bounce. Oh, my orders froze. Jeez. Be careful of floating orders. Oh my goodness, bro. Can't catch a good trade. I can't catch a good trade to save my life. That was like a false breakout there. 1650s, big level. If we can get up there and push through. Ay, 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 ay. They're not the fills or the entries that I want here. It's consolidating, so I'll adjust a little bit. Well, we could still get the move. Well, we got to position ourselves a little bit better here. I'm gonna have about a 30-cent stop here and watch to see what it does. Can we hold to our current levels and retest? Willing to re-average though if necessary. I don't think it'll go right away in one move, so taking the profits. Bro, these fills are just maddening, bro. Come on. Lows. We're probably not going to revisit the entire low. Wild, Wild West fills. Wild, Wild West. You gotta capture this move through 50. If not, it's like time to shut it down. And I miss it. Great. 6 pound. Gonna go mad. 85 fill for the new high. Oh man, I'm freaking gonna go mad. Oh. Well, great day. Lovely day. Well, this is where I shut it down and go cry into my pillow. Bro. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm cooked. And I'm out of here. On a day to be up nicely green. Here we are in the red. Mm, 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 mm. Cooked, 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 cooked. That was quite a drop, right? Did Save sell 50k size? Maybe. Maybe he dropped a bomb on our heads. Maybe he dropped a bomb. I mean, it was not a good day anyway, so it's fine. Red $700. I'm out of here. Tomorrow I will be back after rewatching this. It's gonna be hard to watch, but I'll be rewatching the archive here. I did record my screen today. Unlike last Monday. Last Monday I had issues. El Pastor taking the red and shutting it down. So 944 in this account and the $200 from the other account, and we're done. So maybe a little too many attempts trying to get the move up and the continued push. We had a false halt up, a retest of the halt level, and then that bigger pullback. There was no bounce there. That was the depths. But all right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, stay green. El Pastor shutting it down. GSIT, man. What an insane